What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back into my channel. My name is Kreepers and I'm here today with another Datamine video for Paladins. And this video is going to be bringing to you guys some information about 1.4 and so on, because these informations may not just be for this patch, alright? They could be for next patches. For example, we know that there's already some skins titled as Halloween skins, so that definitely doesn't belong on 1.4. It's gonna be like in 1-2 months, so definitely we're gonna have here some information that don't belong yet in 1.4. Now, as for the first and biggest information, we have here a new champion. A new champion was found on the data files, and his name, for now at least, is called Dredge. Now, it may not be the official name, alright, but we do know sort of his abilities. We even have a video, which before I show you the video, I'm just going to be trying to explain so you can see the video. And also just a little disclaimer, I'm not the owner of the video. This video was on Reddit. Apparently it was found by somebody else. I don't even know if the owner is actually the owner, so if anything, I do apologize if I'm actually stealing anything from anybody. I'm trying not to. But the video is here. In case you want to find it out, I'll probably try to leave the link in the description so you can go into the Reddit post where the video was. Now, let's just talk about his abilities before you go into the video so you can understand, because on the video what you're going to see is a base model of almost like a pip using a gun that shoots weird shots that look like Makoa's shots, but actually bounce around on the ground. And you have some, you know, different arts for the abilities that may look as abilities that already exist, like the totem from Grok, or the Inara shots, or even the teleportation, you know, ability from Talus. Now, the first thing that you need to know, it's his normal gun. Apparently, it shoots grenades that bounce on the ground, but if it hits an enemy, it will automatically explode. So it does about 850 damage in area. And then he also has sort of like a passive ability for his normal weapon. After he reloads, he throws something almost like Maldumba that acts like a bomb that can deal up to 1000 damage if it hits directly to somebody, and if it doesn't, probably will just do you know, area damage. Then he has his right click, which apparently that's what it looks to be. It has the Arts of Inara, and what it does, it shoots 3 grenades at like really fast, and they will stay on wherever they hit on the ground, and apparently they start floating and then they just blow up, almost like, I don't know, like water mines, so to speak, but there's no water, they're just floating around, and eventually they blow up, dealing a massive damage in the area. Then you got the Q that I believe that on this video it's not going to be used, but apparently it works almost like a poppy bomb, or like the, you know, the ability of Cassie of pushing people away. I'm not entirely sure how it's going to work, if he shoots like a blank grenade and hits somebody and it pushes it back, or if it's like a poppy bomb. It doesn't show on the video, unfortunately, but this is what it actually has in the definition of the ability. Then we have the F ability, which is almost like the Talus teleport, but it's kind of different because it actually creates portals. What it does is, after you click the first time, it will create an initial portal, and after you click the second time, it will create a second portal. After you use either one of these portals to get to the second one, the one where you just landed will disappear, and as such, you can then create another one. And I'm not entirely sure if your entire team can use this. Probably only Dredge will be able to use it, but I think this part where the second portal disappears is more like a safety, so the enemies couldn't pass through it, so they couldn't go immediately after you, and as such, maybe that's why they did it. Or maybe it's just like, you know, not staying there for the entire duration of the entire match. Maybe they even have like a timer. I'm not entirely sure. As for the ultimate, as you can see, the person on the video actually tries to use it 2 times. And the second time he does succeed, but you don't see any animation, you don't see any projectiles, you don't see any selecting sort of, you know, UI or anything. And what it does like a very big area damage, dealing up to 3000 damage. People are calling it the second version of the ult of Victor, because they think that it works like that. You have to select somebody, But I do not think it is like that. I think it's more like the Skye, because if you take a look into the first time that he uses it, he actually manages to use it and he didn't select anybody. It didn't hit anybody. And at the second time, it actually hit 3 people, because I think he threw something like the grenades, and it's almost like the ultimate of Skye. Then we're going to continue. As I said, there's certain arts there, like the Inara art. There's 2 of them actually for the Inara art, and we have I said Makoa, but it's actually from the weapon of Pip, almost the normal shooting. And I'm just gonna put the video right now so you guys can see it, and you guys can take a look into what I was actually explaining so you can understand it better. You're already going to the video just with a little bit of knowledge.
First blood. Double kill. Killing spree. Triple kill. Rampage. Double kill. Triple kill. Unstoppable.
Like this.
That's 9 in a row. Double kill. Godlike. Double kill. Triple kill. Annihilation. Double kill.
Okay, so that was all for Dredge, and just one little extra information that I didn't mention before. If you did pay attention in the beginning of the video, on the selecting the champion part, you actually managed to see that he actually is a damage. So he's not a frontline, he's not a flank, and definitely not a healer. He's a damage. Some people even mentioned that according to the ways that they were working it on, like we already had a support, we already have a flank, and we already have a frontline, these last 3 champions that came out, so probably the next one would be damage. Well, props to you if that was actually your theory, because that's actually what it came out, but it may not be like from those orders of thinking. So, you know, that's all for the Dredge part, the new champion coming out. Now let's talk about cosmetics, about new skins coming out. We have here a Datamine skin for Ashe, and apparently it's like a military skin, and she actually, I'm gonna put some images on the screen right now, and she actually even has some voice lines attached to this skin that work pretty much like, it's not a soldier, more like a captain, because she does talk like she's like in a higher rank, and as such that may be it. So I'm gonna put some voice lines really quick on top of the video right now so you can hear it.
Time for the next wave. You best get back to the battlefield, soldier. Listen up, privates. I've only got one rule. Everyone fights, and if you don't do your job, I'll finish you off myself. I heard you got a bug problem? I'm here to exterminate it. fight. Killing you is gonna be like squashing a bug. Now that battle got my blood boiling. Think you're tough? I've seen roaches twice your size. The battle's over, but the war isn't. We'll have more chances to strike back, Captain. Ash, they shouldn't have let you out of boot camp. Good work, soldiers. That was a fight for the history books. Who brings knives to a battlefield? Staff Sergeant Ash, ready for battle. I think you and me are gonna get along just fine. Now this is a medal-worthy play. There aren't dangerous weapons, just me and whatever I decide to end you with. Lift those boots and get moving! Soldiers never cry! Don't you dare cry! Come on! Let's fight! I'll handle this!
Okay, so that was the voice lines of the Ash Shadow Buster. I believe this is the name that it was actually found for the skins. There's only 2 or 3 images that I can actually provide you with, but there are still some. They can give you a pretty good image of what she looks like. To be really honest, she doesn't look like. It doesn't correspond to the voice line, but that's my opinion. It doesn't really matter. Now, there's other skins that were also Datamine, like the Grobot. He's actually a robot filled with green, I don't know what it is, like he's covered in green, like the vegetation, stuff like that. And yeah, that's all for that part, because I don't have any voice lines for that, sorry about that. And then we have something that a lot of people have been waiting for, which is Skye Rework. We have this texture, the texture part for Skye, but we don't have the full model yet, alright? It doesn't mean that it's going to be out of 1.4. This means that this was the information found that may come to the 1.4. So we're not here trying to trick anybody. We're not here trying to tell you, okay, this is coming out on 1.4. It doesn't really mean that, okay? But if you take a look into the pictures, we can try to get a sort of an idea how she's going to look like, okay? Definitely, I know that she's gonna still remain an elf, because you can see her ear, her pointy ear on a part of the image. Her hair apparently is not gonna change like that much. It's gonna change, but just not, like a huge amount. Also, her chest is now different. Her part of the chest. We also have like the symbol of the magistrate now. I believe this may be on the back, maybe. She's also gonna have like a skeleton sort of part for her hands, and it looks like to be a core, a purple core on part of the image. And then on the second part we get to see her clothing part as well. Is that maybe a second part, because the beginning in the top left may look to be also part of the chest. Maybe there's 2 different models. We're not entirely sure. I mean, she's not going to change a lot, and maybe that's not even Skye on the video of the Koga that we saw before, but, at least we get a little bit of an idea what's coming to Skye. So, that's all for the part of Skye. As soon as I get another information, as soon as we get the entire model, I'll try to do a video about it. And let's talk about other skins that have been sort of data-mined. We have here names only. We don't have pictures, but there are names, and just gonna give you a quick list so you guys pay attention to it. Also, do pay attention that this was in Portuguese. I had to translate it myself, so some of the words may not be correct. So we're gonna have here either Ying or Vivian Countess, Carmen Countess. I don't know exactly how this is gonna be, and Carmen is just the color, but I don't know. Let's wait to see. We also have Vivian Halloween, Ying Halloween, Victor Halloween. These may just be like small little like accessories, almost like something they put, like a hat or something. We're not entirely sure, but this appear to be too many skins for the Halloween, and here's the reason why. There's also a lot more others with this name. We got the Fernando Death Rider, we got the Fernando Halloween, Monster Talus, Halloween Talus. This may be the same skin, maybe they're just different names. We're not entirely sure. We got Koga Cyberpunk. I already know what's gonna happen. Like, people are gonna say, "Oh man, Cyberpunk skins just suck." Let's just wait for it to be. It may actually be cool. Then we got Illusionist Elf. Now, this may be for Ying. First of all, because it does make sense. She has a mirror and creates clones and, you know, illusions. And she's kind of an elf, so it could be that. But I'm not gonna say that like just yet. It could even be a skin for Skye, all that we know. Then we had the Striker Maeve, Speed Maeve, something like that. I'm not entirely sure what it is. It's a skin for May, probably. So that's cool, for May at least. Then we also have the same name but for Buck, and the same for Fernando. I don't... Unless they're like bike riders or something like that, almost like they did for the Paladin Strike, where you have people just dressed up as football players. I'm not entirely sure what this is going to be, but it does look to be cool. Let's just wait a little bit as well. It doesn't look to be to the Halloween, and maybe before or after. We're going to have to wait and see, definitely. Then we have one that it's actually called, it's not called, it's just unknown. It's called Kismet Bunny, and it may not be actually a cosmetic. We're not entirely sure. Let's... I know I'm keep saying it. Let's wait and see, because there's definitely no more information than only the names. All right. Then we got the Nara Steel Princess, almost Steel. I know it's a girl's name. Donzel. I'm not entirely sure what the translation is. I think it's actually, if I'm not mistaken, it's Maiden. You know, like the Iron Maiden. Maybe it's the Iron Maiden, almost like the Furia, but for Nara. Let's wait. Then we got Book Hercules. Now that's a skin that I definitely imagine, because it does go really well with it, but even so. Then we got one mount called the Lion Mount. This Lion Mount, I think it was Datamine for Ramriel, and maybe they're going to be using it for Heater. Maybe it's going to be like a mount that is going to be, you know, it's going to work on both games. And maybe it's even related. Maybe if you connect everything up to your high-risk account, you'll get it on both places. Who knows? But, you know, for now, I'm not entirely sure how it may look. It may look like the Strike, not the Strike, the Prime Mount, the Primal Mount. And it's just like more to the Lion Colors side. Possibly. Alright, now, there's also rumors of a new event coming out, which is the In the Sea. So yes, a lot of people already know what this is. This has already been mentioned. This has already been Datamine. It was the, you know, the, how's it called? The pirate event, where we actually saw Maldumba skins. The Barrack skin may go really well with this as well. We got a Maeve skin as well. We got a Emoji skin for that as well. This is just information that I already have from before. This is not in the Datamine, alright guys? This is pictures of concepts that Harris themselves actually released. They released this already. Like, and it was a long time ago, so it does make sense that it actually comes out like in the future, because when they start developing, it takes a lot of time to actually put it in game. So they don't just develop it today and put it out tomorrow, right? So this may actually be the pirate event that we are also waiting a lot for. Then, as for maps, there's a couple of maps here, old maps that don't even exist anymore, that have been found in the files. Some of them, including even the Rise of Furia map, apparently is going to be available on Onslaught, because they found out some information of this map being prepared for that. If you guys remember on the Rise of Furia, not Rise of Furia, the Ascension's Peak, on that map, on that event, the event itself was actually Onslaught. It was not a Siege, as that we have the map available right now. So it may be actually possible that we're going to have this map as an Onslaught now. New mode for this map. That's actually cool, because if the map was already like that before and it worked pretty good, putting it up now as an Onslaught, it will be really good for us to have extra, you know, variety to the Onslaught mode. Then there's also a map that I'm not sure how is it called. You guys probably already know this. This is Tropical Island. This is for the old veterans of Paladins. This was a map that had a mode of the gates. It doesn't mean that the gates are coming back. It just means that the map may be actually reworked to be as a siege now. So we may have that back. There was a couple of maps that existed before. Has the Tropical Islands maps. Has gate maps that were actually changed, and now they exist as siege maps right now. And I could go on and tell you the names right now, but that would require extra extra searching and stuff like that. Some of you already know what these maps are. I've seen them myself, so I know what I'm talking about. There's also a map that it's called, it's Tilted. It's an Onslaught map. I'm not entirely sure what this is. There's no more information. There's only the name. And there's also a name of an ice map that was supposed to be of Payload that could be a rework now for Siege or even Onslaught. Their ice map that we have of the Onslaught, remember that those caves that we had, ice caves, I'm not entirely sure how was their name. I think they're actually reworking it to make it a Siege map now. That would be awesome, to be really honest. It does work out if you think about it. Like in the middle, there's this little area that could be actually worked to be the point capturing site. You know, it could have worked. It could work really good. Really good. Not entirely sure. There's also a map called the Hidden Temple. There was also the map of Onslaught. There were pretty much these two maps. You guys probably remember that map as well. Also been found on the files. It doesn't mean this one is also being reworked. It just means that they just got the files back and they're trying to test something out with these maps. It may mean though we are gonna have these maps as Siege. Don't think that Payload is coming back, alright? Do not even think about that. Now, there's also extra informations about, for example, the Galaxy chest coming back, and maybe the skin that I talked about, the Grover Grobot, may be in there as a, you know, has the primary skin for that. So that could be cool. There's also like several abilities of certain champions now having Halloween in their names. Like, for example, Halloween Fireball. The reason why I think this actually exists, and it's really simple, I'm going to explain to you guys. You probably have noticed that certain skins, when activated, when used, they change the art of the abilities. So it actually may be that. Or maybe they're trying to put certain effects, like for example Halloween effects on certain abilities, where we're going to be able to see the fireball instead of a fireball, almost like a fire skull or like a fire pumpkin going around. It could be cool if this actually becomes a reality, because it means that based on the events, now the abilities of the normal champions will also change. Like the reality as we know are going to be changed related to the event that we're going through. And that would be really awesome. I gotta be really honest about that. Now, there's also a couple of tests made to a talent for Leon that's actually related to her normal shooting. It almost like the talent that we already have that gives 90% like healing reduction based on every single shot that she does. It may actually be a new talent related to also almost like this, but not related to the healing. Unless they're actually changing that talent. Not entirely sure. Now, a couple of tests were also made to the normal shooting abilities for Maeve, Buck, and Fernando. No, I'm sorry, I'm talking bad. The shooting ability for Maeve, the Heroic Leap for Buck, and the Charge for Fernando, reducing their recharges to 50%. Now, they're either going to put this with less time, all of them, including even the shooting for Maeve, means that Maeve may actually shoot faster, or they're creating cars that will make that faster. To be really honest, I'm not seeing which car could make the shooting for Maeve be faster. That wouldn't make much of a sense, unless it's not the shooting, it's actually the pounds. Maybe that's what we're talking about here. I'm not entirely sure. Of course, even the people who do the Datamine sometimes do not have the right words, and sometimes it comes out wrong. Especially because the people who actually did the Datamine were not even English, so we got that. Now, we're also, as I said before, there was also found information that believes that there's going to be skin crossovers between Realm Royale and Paladins. Alright? That was already Datamine before, that's already been mentioned before, including mounts coming from one place to the other. You guys, if you've seen the Realm Royale Datamine videos that I've done, you probably know that I'm talking about this, what I'm talking about, and it may actually be a reality. Let's wait for it. And also there's a couple of testing related to the banning part of the competitive. Maybe they're talking about a new system where the first person on our team bans one person, and then when it comes back to our team, maybe the second person does a second ban instead of being only one person. Who knows? Or maybe they're gonna add a third ban. Who knows, right? That's actually better, at least for me, I think, because the more bans that we have, the easier it will be for us to play with less broken champions. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Oh, but I can never play Zen because Zen is always banned. Or I can never play Fury because Fury is also banned, or Leon, and I like to play him. Guys, there's gonna be different times for you to do that. What I suggest is try to main different champions when it comes to competitive, because it's hard, okay? It's really hard when you have to go into competitive and you're playing with broken ass champions that it's really hard to actually counter. And I understand that what you guys are going to be saying now, oh man, you're just a noob if you can't counter them. If there was no bans, how would you do it? I understand, alright, but we do have this system and it works out perfectly fine. Even though sometimes we'll get trollers and they will ban like things that don't even make sense. I, for example, know that certain maps are very good for snipers, and in competitive, most of the people are going to try to ban the snipers first, and then we have Leon, Furia, Grok, Skye, Zen, Inara, Terminus. All of those, you know, the main bans are all going to be open, and then we end up having like a very strong, hard to fight, so to speak. So that's all for the video today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, the video that I posted about the abilities, it's not mine. It does not belong to me. I just wanted to show you guys. It's on Reddit. I'm going to leave the link in the description for you guys to go check out the Reddit post. And all of this information may be 100% or maybe like 0%. All right. This is Datamine, and for those who do know what Datamine is, it means that it's information that was found on the files. And this is something that Harris is working at the moment, testing out and stuff like that. It may mean that they give up at a certain point to certain things, and there may be things that I actually repeated myself, like for example the Halloween Fernando and the Death Rider Fernando, alright? So there may be just one thing, but just with different names. They were just testing out names or different skins, different concepts for the same skin. If you guys know Harris, they have a lot of different concepts for a lot of things, okay? So that's all for the video today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. This video is already big as hell, 20 minutes and something, Jesus Christ. Alright, sorry for that, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for watching the video until the end of the video if you actually reach it here. So don't forget to go down and leave a like so I can know if you guys are enjoying these Datamine videos or not. And again, hope you guys enjoyed and have a great day, guys. See you guys next time. Bye bye, guys.